Peace to all the gods and goddesses out there. How y'all doing? Now, I want to talk about the importance of building a community, right? So, if y'all don't know, the history that they taught in schools is not true. But what we do know is that just because you got the same shade as somebody, you got the same melanin as somebody, doesn't mean they rocking with you. Okay? Not all skin folk are kinfolk, okay? So we gotta understand that this is the first time in history where we all gotta come together based on what we look like. You know, there was different tribes, and different tribes stood on different things, and they had different like principles, and they had different lifestyles. But now we all have to interconnect to come together for a greater purpose that is bigger than us. And that should be our main priority as melanated beings. And that whole idea that we need to unionize with other races, you're wasting time. You're wasting time, because that ain't never gonna happen. Because you have to understand this. Every other race has a whole history of anti-blackness. Are you not aware that they still got their racist auntie, grandpa, all of them? They still here, and they're teaching their children that, right? It's not a coincidence whenever every melanated being has one story of when they befriended a person from another race, and then that friendship ended because they found out that person was racist, right? If that's so common, then what's the common denominator? Everybody doesn't like us. So working with people that don't like you, and that unlikeness that they have is passed down by generation, and it's in their DNA. Why would you ever set yourself up by working with the enemy then? Now, I'm not saying that everybody that doesn't look like us is the enemy. I'm not saying that. But to trust somebody, they had to give you a reason to trust them, not the other way around. Just because somebody looks like you doesn't mean you should trust them. And just because somebody doesn't look like you doesn't mean you shouldn't trust them. You got to use your discernment, and you got to use your brain. Take your emotion out of it, okay? Take that out of it. Take it out of it. Then make that decision. But the whole idea is that we all got to come together. They can all get together by themselves. We're not going to be part of that equation. They're going to make us fight in the forefront. But when it comes to the benefits, they ain't going to want us to get it. To this day, we fighting for reparation. We should be fighting for the land. Because this is ours. Okay? This is ours. And they try to make it seem like, oh, you asking for too much. We're not even asking for enough. If we being for real, we ain't asking for enough. We being generous, a little bit too generous, if I may add, but to each their own. But we gotta understand that building a community takes time. And what Dr. Umar said, for us to actually revolutionize and actually get better, some of you Negroes gotta get put to sleep. So just think about it. Why in every song did it always talk down about the opposing gender? Why every time there's a commercial and there's one black person in the commercial and their partner is always a different race? How come every time the media is showing an example of a black couple, it's always involving cheating, abuse, or some form of being dysfunctional? Why is that every time we have a show, it always has to include suffering or trauma? You don't think these ways are to program you into thinking that this is the way of living? You don't think that? How come they don't show us successful people? For example, the second Black Panther movie pissed me off because it was disrespectful. But each time they show melanated beings on top, they always show that we're defeatable, that we're always weak or inferior. You don't think that subconscious programming would affect you? You don't think it would? I'm just saying. From slavery It affects us to this day. And the more and more you don't address it, the more and more it will affect you. For example, doctors have lied and basically said that dis-ease is hereditary. Nothing is hereditary. The only thing that's hereditary is, that's it. You know what is? What causes dis-ease to pass down is habits. It's lifestyle. If we being for real, it's habits and lifestyle. You're living the same way, with the same people, with the same food, the same way of living, passed down. So you're gonna have the same thing. You try to change your life, have a different diet, be around different people, actually live a stress-free life, I bet you ain't gonna get that disease. That disease is gonna leave your body. I'm gonna just put a random medical tip in here. Stress and sugar is a recipe to cause any dis-ease in your body. Stress and sugar. That's all you need to know. And the sugar is everywhere. Just because something says unsweetened doesn't mean it doesn't have sugar. It just means it's not sweet. It just means it's not sweet. Because a lot of people get that concept misconstrued. Be like, there's no sugar, it's unsweetened. No, it just means it's not sweet. There's still sugar in it. There's still sugar. Just letting you know. I was a random thought, I just had to say that. But prioritize on that. You know, and actually, instead of like, as a community, we love Tupac, right? Because of what he said, what he talked about. All the messages were heartfelt. He talked about issues that weren't really addressed as it should be. It wasn't addressed enough, and he put that in the forefront so we can discuss and talk about it. And all of the topics he said was relatable or important, and we're seen as taboo, but he talked about it. Not everything, but a lot of things he talked about. And I feel like we need that outlet. That's why I really do appreciate Dr. Umar, because even though people make jokes on him, there hasn't been one thing he said that I never disagreed with. There has not been one thing he said that I disagreed with. And most of the things, unless there's a video I never seen yet, I agree with everything he says because it's the truth. It's just people don't like the idea of a person being so down for his people. The fact that somebody's so proud of his melanin triggers and intimidates people because they know about our power, but unfortunately we forgot about it. And it's important to remember that because we are the beginning and the end. We're the most ancient beings on this planet. Just saying. So it's important to actually care about one another, take care of one another, actually love each other, help each other out. It makes me sick whenever people get the abundance that they get and they don't even help each other. All they do is just so worried about how am I gonna somebody else? Are you serious right now? How can you look at another person, another melanated being, down at their lowest and you kick them? How are you helping? How? Those same melanated beings that believe in respectability politics, it doesn't exist. Hey, a little tip. If a person, right, is disrespecting you because of what you got on your head or what clothes you're wearing or how you talk, let me tell you, they don't respect you because of how you look and who you are. They're just using those little things as an excuse to be racist. Just letting you know. They don't care. They don't care. No matter what your hair looks like, how you talk, what you have around you, your clothes, you're still a Negro. Okay? You're still melanated. They don't care. And why do you want to appease people and make other people feel so comfortable and downplay your melanatedness, your blackness to make other people feel comfortable? Who cares? Who cares? I'm tired of hearing that. If you want to wear a bonnet, go wear a bonnet. And it's always older melanated beings that do that too. You're like, y'all so sleep. So sleep. It's embarrassing. We're supposed to be looking up to y'all. And I'm not saying all of y'all, but a handful of y'all think that way. And we're supposed to look up to y'all? Be for real. Y'all just living to appease other people. You don't even appease yourself. You're so worried about what other people gotta say, and you're not even living your own life. It's crazy. It's crazy. Instead of helping your brothers and sisters, what are you doing? You're pulling them down. You're kicking them when they're down. You're talking bad about them. You're not helping. Yes, I'm aware. The reason why we're in this state is because of them. But we keep that afloat because we don't address the BS that's going on within our community. We don't hold people accountable. We don't take accountability. We don't do better. We don't even try to improve. We don't have difficult conversations because we're so worried about how we may look or what they're going to say. Who gives a f they got to say? Who cares? When are y'all going to understand that? I feel like this video is going everywhere, but it's like I have so much to say with it because I'm so tired of it. It's the same thing. But I do see more and more people waking up on the importance of actually building a community and helping each other. No matter who in the community, no matter what type of community, there's always going to be low vibrational, envious, jealous, insecure people. That's inevitable. That's the duality of life. But why is a large percentage of our community this way? And I truly feel like it's because of unhealed trauma that's been passed down by generations. It's just coded into you by default. When you're in your mother's womb, you already have the DNA and the coding of your grandmother. Yes. Yeah. Let that sink in. So if your grandma experienced something traumatic, you have it. Your mother has it. So to actually break a generational trauma, a generational curse, it will have to be 3 generations after you. Let that sink in. Yeah. So do what you gotta do and actually love one another. What's the next time you see a melanated being, you see a black person, comment them on their hair, how they look, their skin, their intelligence, their integrity, their character. Compliment them. Share some love because we need it. We all that we got, literally. We all that we got. We barely even got each other. If we being for real. So do what you gotta do for real because this is insane. This is getting ridiculous. For real. We all that we got. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. Comment down below your thoughts. This is the whole reason I made this video, so we can start conversations. You know I keep it real over here, okay? I love talking about conversations that we rarely talk about, and I keep it real. And my ideas are original. I don't take my ideas from nobody. Give the video a like, and I appreciate and I show gratitude if you made it this far. Okay? Stay beautiful, stay kind, stay generous, and stay optimistic. Reflection. Thanks for having time with Tatiana the Optimist. I'm out.